When Paul turns to address husbands in Ephesians chapter 5, his restraint is striking. He gives one command, and only one. Husbands, love your wives. That should immediately slow us down. Paul does not tell husbands to rule. He does not tell them to command. He does not tell them to manage, direct, or control. He only tells them to love. And that choice is not accidental. To understand why this matters, we need to pay close attention to how Paul defines love and to what he deliberately avoids saying. Paul immediately qualifies the command, "Husbands, love your wives, as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her." This tells us several things at once. First, love is not a feeling. It is not an inner disposition that may or may not express itself. For Paul, love is an action. It is something done. Second, love is not reactive. Christ does not love the church because she first responds correctly. Christ loves first. Love moves outward. Third, love is costly. Christ loved the church by giving himself. Love absorbs cost. Love bears weight. Love does not protect itself at the expense of the other. Paul then spends several verses expanding this command. He does not rush past it. Christ gives himself. Christ sanctifies. Christ cleanses. Christ nourishes. Christ cherishes. This is deliberate. Paul wants husbands to feel the weight of what he is saying. Love in this passage is not romantic. It is vocational. It is responsibility-bearing. Paul could have spoken about authority here. He does not. He could have spoken about leadership. He does not. He could have spoken about decision-making. He does not. That silence matters. Paul avoids authority language because authority would distort the analogy he is working with. Christ's headship is not revealed through control. It is revealed through self-giving love. Christ does not assert himself over the church. He gives himself for the church. So when Paul calls husbands to love, he is not asking them to imitate Christ's position. He is asking them to imitate Christ's action. This is a crucial distinction. Imitating Christ's position leads to domination. Imitating Christ's action leads to sacrifice. Paul chooses the second. Paul also grounds this command in creation. He quotes Genesis 2. The two shall become one flesh. This reminds us that love is not merely ethical. It is ontological. Husband and wife are bound together in a one-flesh union. To love one's wife is to care for one's own body. To neglect her is to damage oneself. Paul explicitly says this. No one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it. Love, then, is not heroic self-denial. It is faithful self-giving within union. This reframes everything. The husband is not positioned over the wife. He is bound to her. Her good is his good. Her flourishing is his responsibility. This is why Paul places the weight of action on the husband. Love moves first. Love creates safety. Love establishes the conditions in which reverence can exist without fear. This is also why Paul does not command submission to husbands. Submission has already been named as the shared posture toward Christ. What Paul commands here are actions shaped by the Christ church analogy. Christ loves. The church responds. Husbands love. Wives respond. If love is absent, the picture collapses. If love becomes control, the analogy is destroyed. Paul's command to husbands is therefore not minimal. It is demanding. It is heavy. It is costly. And it is deliberately asymmetrical. Paul knows that love, properly understood, does more to order a relationship than authority ever could. When husbands love in this way, marriage becomes a living display of the gospel. Christ gives himself. The church is brought to life. Glory flows relationally. In the next video, we'll look at the corresponding command Paul gives to wives, and why that command is reverence rather than obedience. Thank you for watching.